Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator and I'm pleased to show you how to make this Shadowbox card today. And this moves this way so you can mail it and it'll lay flat and is three-dimensional so it can stand up on its own, but it's just so pretty and peaceful looking, and it says this one has a thinking of you sentiment. This is from one of our new dies that we have, and it's called Grassy Grove and Grove dies. And so these are the dies, and this is the stamp set. This will be available until May of 2022. These are the dies that I've used, and they do not cut out, they only cut out the part with the holes, so you can kind of see the whole part. It doesn't cut out the outline of the trees. Oh, but there is an outline stamp in here that can cut that out, but typically you'll just cut the piece of cardstock that size that you want, and then it just leaves the holes. And I did cut the deer at the same time, so I just laid them on there, and then you get 2 for 1. Let's get started. It's such a simple card, and it's so pretty, and it has this is my sample. It uses the On the Horizon Designer Series paper. It's a 6x6 paper, and it has different. This one has it with, you can kind of see the background here. It has just basic backgrounds that you could just use all by themselves. And so there's really no coloring or anything, so it makes a very simple card, but very stunning. This is a piece of 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I have a piece of white, basic white, that is 4 by 5 1/4 that will fit right here. And I did stamp one of the stamps. It's a big grassy thing, and that goes on the back of it. So we'll stamp that real quickly, just in black, and that goes on the bottom. So it just has something to write on the back, or your sentiment, or whatever you'd like to use it for. The next step is adhering this to the card. So put that on, and that just goes in the center of this flat piece. Next we will flip it over, and you want to make sure that you're doing the same direction of your, this is the bottom of the card, so when you flip it over, make sure that it stays at the bottom. Otherwise you'll get confused and it'll cause problems. So I'm using this piece for the background, and this is 3 by 4 1/2. You don't necessarily need to cover this entire sheet, so you can actually get 2 cards out of one piece of 6x6 paper. This is just being centered on the piece, and the sides are a little narrower than the top and bottom. Now you'll take your tear and tape, or any strong adhesive. I guess you could glue it as well, but this I found was just easier. And I'm putting the tear and tape on the left side, the smaller sides, toward the edge, and one on the right side. Like so. And that's how all you have to do for the flat part. Set that aside for a second. Now we have our piece that will go over the top. This piece is 6.5 by 4 1/4, And if you got the kit, you have some of these holes you'll have to punch out a little bit. And they have white on them because I used almost like a parchment paper. They're actually hamburger press pieces, and that keeps them from sticking in the die, so you don't have to keep poking them out of the die. You just have to poke them out here. So I just have a couple that didn't get poked out yet. You may have to do this for yours. Again, this is for club members that they have the kits. And if you're interested in becoming a club member, you can email me and I can give you the details. Okay. So, now we have our piece all punched out. Now we will take back our piece. So this is scored at 1 inch, or ½ inch and 1 inch, and then I flipped it around, ½ inch, 1 inch. Then I put the die in here and ran it through. The reason I did that, because if you tried to score this now, some of this goes into that 1 inch part. So I'm folding this back onto the front, flipping it over and folding it back. So basically it would be a valley mountain fold for those who do it that way. Flip it to the other side, back and front. So it'll look like this. It'll have you'll have a, what would that be? I guess like a V. It would be like a V and up, and then the V and up. So that's how that looks. Now we'll remove the tape liner thing. I don't know what they're called. And then what I found worked the best is taking one side, again making sure if you've put on your back paper, this is on the bottom so that you know where the bottom of your card is. And I'm lining up the one corner on the right or the left, doesn't matter which you start with. I'm lining it up, I'm pressing it down just a little bit, and then lining everything else up a little further down than I need to be. Okay, so I'm just lining this up again, and then I can line it and then press it down. That way you're assured that it won't go crooked. Now I'm doing the same thing on the other side. I'm taking this piece, lining it up in the corner to corner, making sure that the rest of it is even, and pressing it down. And that's how you get the shadow box. You can and that's how that lays then. And now to be able to put this in an envelope, you'll be able to push it gently because of all the holes. Push it down a little bit, and now it's flat. And then I go to the left, again gently, so that everything lines up. And that's how you get your nice image. I have some, they're about 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 pieces that we will be putting on the sides. It just needed a little bit of some color there. So we'll put these on just in between here. And put one on the other side. Just brightens it up a little bit. It seems really thin. Okay. Put that on the other side. And then it needed a little something yet, so I took a piece of the black and white gingham ribbon, and I'm just using my adhesive. I'm using a tape runner. It just seems to work well for me, and I'm putting it on the ribbon, which I don't normally suggest, but for this one it works better. And if you use your silicone pad, it will take the excess tape off. Then you'll start on one corner or the other, doesn't matter left or right. You push it down, go about about a about an eighth of an inch down. Push it down, make sure this is flat. Push it all the way across to the other side. And then move it to the other direction. Make this flat and push the ribbon on. And that way, when you move this, it won't pop up or be too tight. I have a scissors that has a Teflon coating on it, so because this has adhesive on it, then it won't go up my scissors. In the event you do use your paper snips or whatever, your ribbon scissors, and it gets the glue on it, rubbing alcohol works really well. I use the wipes, and they take the ink right off, or the glue right off, but you just have to be careful that you don't cut yourself because it gets very sharp. Now in that set there is a Thinking of You stamp, and I'm just going to stamp that on white and cut it so that it's just an even on both sides, like so. And then we'll just put that on our front of our card. And I'm going to, oh, I forgot my deer. Put that in the center, or to the right, wherever you'd like to put it. Now we got to put our deer on there. So I have two deer cut out. I have a baby one, and I'm going to call it the mama, or daddy, whichever. And I'm using the black dimensionals because then they won't show it all. The big one gets 2, and you just need to put them on the body part. Take the thingies off. And then I'm putting him on the right side, oops, and just a little bit under the grass on from the die, and put him like that, and just pop him down. And now the baby is sort of funny. He's looking like he's looking at the mama. On one of mine I put it backwards, and now it looks like he's walking away and being a naughty kid. So I think I'll make him naughty, and he'll be walking away from the mom. Kind of looks like he's got his nose up in there, and I'll show you. So then he'll be going this way, and he's walking away from the mom. So basically that's all there is to the card. Again, the back has that stamp on it so you can write. And it's just such a pretty, peaceful card and very simple to make. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.